What is happening, particularly in Syria and Iraq, is the social fabric is being torn apart. And it's not going to be woven together easily again.
Across Borders launched against the backdrop of a refugee crisis and a desperate situation for more than 60 million people displaced around the world. Over the past month, we've explored the issues surrounding global migration and identified solutions and best practices for effective interventions now and in the future.
Everyone focuses on Syria, rightly, it's an unprecedented crisis, but in Africa there is clear need to tackle together with our African partner the root causes of the refugee crisis or the forced displacement of people. When we say tackle the root causes, it's first supporting people on the economic side, creating economic opportunities and jobs.
What has happened to date is that in Lebanon and Jordan, refugees who have come in haven't had that legal right to have access to the formal labour market. There's now a moment of opportunity that we see in terms of letting refugees have access to livelihoods, being allowed to work. Helping with job creation, vocational skills training, I think is critical.
With almost 5 million Syrians now seeking refuge in neighbouring countries, and over 1 million more in Europe and beyond, humanitarians and government authorities face a series of complex challenges.
It's definitely unusual to see MSF in France, and we're not supposed to work in France. I mean, we didn't expect that we had to do so. So the only fact that we are here is already a sign that something is getting wrong in here. And the problem is political, and it depends on French, but on all the European countries too, and governments.
Our humanity as people who care for other people, the word solidarity, that has just disappeared from the political agenda at the moment. We're just talking about numbers. I think history is going to judge Europe very, very harshly.
If the only information that people are getting is through a media coverage that's a little bit sensationalist and perhaps a little negative, people do feel overwhelmed, and they do feel very concerned about the impact of all of these migrants and refugees arriving on their own well-being and their community's well-being. Public awareness raising, if done well, would free politicians up to be a little bolder in the actions that they take.
From safe, legal channels to migration, to the transition of refugees into host countries, the path to a stable future remains a work in progress.
As long as there is no legal avenues, but the push factors, why people decide, because there is no future, because they have conflict in the country where they come from, people will continue to migrate. And we almost force people to go through the irregular route if they don't have access to asylum, if there is no legal avenues that they can use.
The campaign may have come to an end, but the conversation continues. Visit Across Borders and follow DevEx for the latest news, views and analysis.